Hello again. This week Mobile Legends Bang Bang brings you a new hero. He is Lancelot the Perfumed Knight. Lancelot has been known to be talented with the blade since his youth. He's an agile and graceful assassin that utilizes his personally crafted fencing techniques. Now Lancelot has stepped onto the main stage of the Land of Dawn and is ready to show the world his potential.
Fear my sword!
Firstly, let's start off with Lancelot's passive. Every few seconds, Lancelot's next basic attack will identify the enemy's weak spots. This will cause enemies with identified weak spots to take extra damage. Enemies may also pick up the shredded armor pieces to regain their full defensiveness. Puncture is Lancelot's first skill. Lancelot charges towards the target in a direction, dealing physical damage. The target will be edged with a sword mark. If the target does not have a sword mark, then Puncture's cooldown will refresh. During combat, Lancelot sees the wounded Argus. He uses the minions to refresh his Puncture's cooldown, as well as to close the gap with Argus to finish him off. Lancelot's second skill is Thorn Rose. Lancelot performs an amazing sword fighting technique within an area. An enemy may be struck with a maximum of 3 times of physical damage. Enemies hit 3 consecutive times will be slowed. When using the skill, Lancelot will have a period of invulnerability. So when Lancelot utilizes Thorn Rose's invulnerability frames to escape Argus's demonic grip, it allows him to perform an exciting counterattack. Let's talk about Lancelot's passive, Phantom Execution. After a short period of charging, Lancelot performs an executioner strike in a forward direction. He is invincible throughout the process, dealing physical damage to his enemies afterwards. During combat, he uses Phantom Execution to bypass the range and finish off Argus. For equipment selection, we recommend the below 3 equipment sets. For new players, we highly recommend the first one as it provides cooldown reduction and armor penetration, 2 of Lancelot's main stats. In terms of emblem selection, we recommend most people use the fighter set. But for players that want a different experience, there is the Roamer set, which gives Lancelot more cooldown reduction and movement speed for better assassinations. In terms of battleground spells, we recommend you use Retribution, as Lancelot's mobility is already quite high. This is our new hero Lancelot. He's available now for 599 diamonds or 32,000 BP. And the first week is 30% off, so off you go.
Hello everyone, Mobile Legends team will bring you a new hero this week, Hellcurt Shadowbringer. The mysterious race from the ancient time is quietly coming into the Land of Dawn again. Shadowbringer is a mysterious race from the ancient times who is a sustained DPS assassin hero and owns the ability of making enemy heroes losing their vision.
Oh my! I'm bleeding!
Meanwhile, he also has some burst damage and CC ability. When in his night duration, he has the highest movement speed among all heroes and no one can catch up with him. In general, Hellcurt is sustained DPS assassin with special abilities. Passive. A hero casting a skill near Hellcurt will be silenced. This effect has 3 seconds cooldown on one single target. When against mage or marksman heroes, this passive ability grants 1 second silent debuff, which is enough for Hellcurt to stop mage heroes finishing their combo so that Hellcurt is able to deal more damage. First skill, vanishes right away and appears at the target location, dealing physical damage to nearby enemies and silencing them. Using after Dark Night Falls will also inflict an extra slow effect on enemies. This is a perfect skill for initiating and chasing. Second skill, active. Cast poisoned blades in forward direction. Each blade dealing to enemies physical damage, minions and jungle monsters will only take 75% of the damage and slowing them. Slow effect stacks. Passive. Every basic attack will increase the number of blade casts up to 5 blades. The effect lasts 10 seconds. The core skill of Shadowbringer. Enemy hit by the blades will be slowed so they cannot escape from the Shadowbringer. Remember to store up 5 blends before hunting an enemy, then casting deadly poisoned blade first to deal massive damage to the enemies, make him or her lose their will to fight. Third skill, passive, increases attack speed. Active, Helcurt summons the Knight, making all enemy heroes lose nearby vision and all their allied vision for 3.5 seconds, while increases his attack speed for 10 seconds. Enemy Dark Knight Falls has no effect on Helcurt. This is a skill that makes the enemies feel scared. Once all enemies lose their vision of their teammates and nearby vision reduced to a minimum area, every one of them is isolated during nighttime, which makes Shadowbringer their ultimate nightmare. They have no chance of defeating this creature when he comes close. For gears, we recommend the following 3 sets. The first one is highly recommended for starters. It provides a fine DPS and some cooldown reduction to make the nightfall more quickly. The emblem sets, we recommend custom assassin emblem set. For battle spell, we recommend retribution for killing the jungle monsters quickly to snowball and crush your enemies. This is all for now. Helcurt, 599 diamonds, 32,000 battle points, and 30% off the first week.
Hello everyone, we meet again. The Mobile Legends team is unleashing a hero on the battlefield this week. The ultimate sniper, Leslie.
Sniper ready. Give me a target.
Leslie is an excellent sniper who can use her long-range sniper rifle and stealth skills to help her team gain a huge advantage in early stages of the game. She can use her stealthy camouflage to get the jump on unsuspecting enemies, her sniper rifle to rack up damage, and then finally let rip her super long-range ultimate to finish them off. This elusive marksman is set to bring an all-new gaming experience in the Land of Dawn. Lethal Shot. If Leslie doesn't take damage for a certain period of time, the range and damage of her basic attack will be increased. Using skills immediately resets this passive. Try your best to avoid taking damage and use her extreme long-range attacks to wear down enemies. First skill, Leslie enters the camouflage state, gaining increased movement speed. Dealing or receiving damage will break the stealth effect, and when the stealth breaks, she'll receive a damage boost. Enemies can detect Leslie's camouflage through distortions in their surroundings. Combine stealth with her passives, increased crit damage to launch a devastating opening on your enemies. Second skill, Leslie throws a tactical grenade forwards that explodes in a fan-shaped area, knocking enemies back. At the same time, Leslie jumps back slightly. This skill should be used to increase your survivability. Try saving it for when you need to escape. Third skill, Leslie abandons her senses and captures all enemy movement in an area using her mind. She can then fire deadly bullets at her target, which can be blocked by other enemy heroes. Use this skill to finish off enemies with low HP and be sure to keep a safe distance. If an enemy approaches while you're in the process of aiming, you can use Leslie's second skill to escape and fire off a deadly bullet, meaning you can protect yourself and kill enemies at the same time. In terms of equipment selection, we advise you to try the following 3 sets of recommended equipment. For new players, we strongly suggest using the first set of recommended equipment. The first item of this set is Endless Battle, due to its balanced properties and synergy with Leslie's first skill. And then we have Magic Shoes to reduce skill cooldowns. After this, take Blade of the Seven Seas to greatly reduce the physical damage of your targets and further improve your damage. And Berserker's Fury also works well with Leslie's passive skill. Then go for Blade of Despair to substantially increase your physical attack. Finally, Immortality grants you some defense, while allowing you to make mistakes and still escape with your life. This set provides high burst damage potential in the early game, but take note that when her skills are cooling down, Leslie's basic attack damage is quite weak. When it comes to emblem selection, we recommend that you use the common physical set with its balanced attributes that are useful in any situation. The custom assassin set provides more physical penetration and cooldown reduction, and with armor reduction gear, it can provide Leslie with high damage in the early to mid game. When choosing battle spells, you should consider taking Inspire to make up for Leslie's lack of sustained damage. And Sprint also works well with Leslie's first skill. And that's our new hero Leslie in a nutshell. Available for 599 diamonds or 32,000 battle points with a 30% discount on her first week of launch. Grab her now and get sniping.
Download for free Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Hey there, it's us again. The Mobile Legends team is back to bring you another new hero this week, the Holy Blade Gusion.
The perfect combination of might and magic.
Gusion was born into a powerful family of mages, but from a young age he became fascinated with imbuing weapons with magical energy and using magic to unlock his own physical potential. He can control multiple sharp daggers at once to attack his enemies, and all who fall prey to his blades have little chance of escaping. What's even more frightening is when he uses magic to heighten his own ability, enabling him to control even more daggers and rendering his enemies utterly helpless. With the ability to refresh his skill cooldowns and chase down any enemy, Gusion is one burst damage magical assassin that you don't want to mess with. First skill. Throws a dagger into a specific direction, dealing magical damage to the first target hit. Use this skill again to appear behind the target and deal magical damage with the follow-up attack. This is a strong chase skill as it has a very long range, and Gusion just needs to land it in order to appear directly behind his target. The enemy simply won't be able to escape his breathless pursuit. Second skill. Throws 5 daggers forward, each dealing magical damage and slowing enemies hit. After a short while, you can tap this skill again to recover your daggers, each causing magical damage to enemies hit as they return. This powerful damage skill, as both throwing and recalling daggers, will deal damage. You can combine these skills with Sword Spike to ensure that all your daggers hit the target and deal devastating damage. Ultimate dashes to designated location, immediately refreshing Sword Spike and Shadow Blade Slaughter cooldowns. This skill can be used again after a brief pause to dash a short distance in a specified direction. After being reset, Gusion will be able to immediately throw 5 daggers with Shadow Blade Slaughter and recover 10. The ability to reset his cooldowns allows Gusion to launch 2 waves of deadly attacks, and this ultimate has the bonus effect of granting Shadow Blade Slaughters extra daggers when recovering the 5 you threw out. At the same time, this ultimate grants 2 dashes which can be used in a variety of ways, such as for attacking or escaping. Combined with Sword Spike and Shadow Blade Slaughter, his ultimate allows Gusion to perform various combos that leave his enemies dazed and confused. Passive skill. Each spell cast adds rune to Gusion's dagger. After stacking 3 runes, the next basic attack will deal additional damage equal to 15% of target's missing HP, and restores HP equal to 80% of the damage dealt. As this passive effect is based on the target's missing HP, it is best to use it as a killing blow. When you and the enemy are both low on HP, seeing your basic attack deals so much extra damage while healing, you will plunge them into despair. In terms of equipment selection, we recommend using the following 3 item sets, and Gusion is a magical assassin, we strongly recommend going for the third one. This set can greatly enhance Gusion's jungling speed, helping him to gain an early level advantage. Start ganking as soon as possible to shut down the enemy team fast. As for emblems, we recommend using the standard mage set. When it comes to battle spell selection, we recommend using Retribution as it's the most suitable battle spell for junglers. And those are the basics of the new hero Gusion. Add him to your rooster for 599 diamonds and 32,000 battle points. And as always, you will receive a 30% discount if you purchase him within the first week of launch.
Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Hero Spotlight. This week, a new hero will meet us on the Land of Dawn, the Akuma ninja, Hanzo! He used to be an excellent ninja of the House of Akakage. With the pursuit of being the supreme ninja, he betrayed his oath and companions, stepping onto a road where he could never turn back. Hanzo uses enemies' blood and soul to feed the Ame no Habakiri, the seventh forbidden weapon. With the help of the blood demon in his body, he performs supreme ninjutsu to become death itself. Hanzo can travel within the map at will, ignoring any obstacles. Even when you manage to kill the blood demon, Hanzo's actual body will still exist in the battle. Unlocks after 5 basic attacks. Hanzo uses Ame no Habakiri to devour a target enemy unit and digest them over a period of time. Doing so regenerates Hanzo and gets him extra demon blood. It can only be used against creeps and minions. It deals true damage if the target is Lord or the turtle. If the attack speed is fast enough, each attack of Hanzo can unlock 2 stacks. Hanzo opens the soul portal to deal damage immediately. The portal then causes damage every several seconds. Every time the portal deals damage, Hanzo will recover a certain amount of demon blood. If Hanzo steps into the center of the portal, he will take back the area and achieve extra demon blood. This skill ensures the laning ability of Hanzo. Try to make full use of it when Hanzo takes back the area in order to obtain demon blood faster. With the help of the blood demon, Hanzo becomes the supreme demon ninja and achieves demon blood. When the demon ninja is killed, Hanzo will return to where the blood demon was, stunned and weakened. This skill consumes demon blood, and once it's used up, Hanzo will speed up gradually, seeking for demon blood, and take him back. Try to hide Hanzo's body in the safe area. When facing Hanzo, to find his body and kill him is also a good way to counter him. Unlocks temporarily after 5 basic attacks. Hanzo summons the Demon Thorn that is full of demon blood power to attack enemies in a designated direction, dealing several percentage of the target's max HP points of physical damage to enemies and regenerates demon blood. Damage decays when targets are non-hero units. If the attack speed is fast enough, each attack of Hanzo can unlock 2 stacks. Use this skill accurately and impress enemies by its fearsome damage. Hanzo transforms into Demon Pneuma and dashes towards the designated place, dealing destructive damage within this area. Each time of damage dealt to enemies will unlock a stack. It's the main skill for Hanzo to get enrolled in the team fight. Use this skill and the blood demon returns to Hanzo immediately. Reap with no harm taken. That's Hanzo's specialty. Return to the real body when the demon blood is running out or the body is under attack. When units are eliminated nearby, the blood demon absorbs their souls into its body to use as energy. Even when Hanzo is in a defensive status, he can also recover demon blood depending on his passive. The sufficiency of demon blood is a must for Hanzo to perform attack or escape. We recommend these 3 sets of equipment items, among which the 3rd set is highly recommended, as Hanzo has a good ability of farming in the jungle with his skills, and the 3rd set improves his ability to gank. As for emblems, Assassin Emblem is highly suitable for Hanzo because it provides physical penetration and therefore increases Hanzo's damage dealt to the most. Hanzo is good at reaping, so the Bounty Hunter talent can widen the gold difference between him and his enemies. Retribution is a good choice for Hanzo because it enhances his jungling ability. At this time, the team fight is reaching an end. Enemy heroes are all with low HP and skills cooling down. Hanzo turns into the state of the Supreme Demon Ninja, uses his second skill, Ninjutsu Devastator, to come close to enemies, dealing damage and unlocking Demon Thorn. Another enemy hero uses Flicker, trying to escape. When they're close to the enemy turret, an enemy hero decides to slay Hanzo, even if that means being eliminated. Hanzo uses Ninjutsu Devastator and avoids damage from the turret and kills the enemy without hesitation. What an excellent reap! And that's our new hero Hanzo! Pick him up for 599 diamonds or 32,000 battle points. Be sure not to miss out on 30% launch week discount. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Download for free Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Hi everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Hero Spotlight. This week, a new hero, Cyan Finchling, will join us in the Land of Dawn.
Still swords run deep.
Ling could quickly leap from wall to wall and could move to anywhere on the battlefield. He could deal massive burst damage to slay the enemies in a moment. Passive, Cloud Walker. Ling's superb lightness skill helps him leap from wall to wall to chase enemies. When resting on the wall, Ling restores extra lightness points per second. Every time Ling deals damage to enemies, he restores extra lightness points. Ling's lightness skill grants him crit chance, but decreases his crit damage. The crit chance of Ling's passive skill grants him the possibility of dealing burst damage. With proper equipment and emblems, the crit chance could greatly increase the burst damage he deals. First skill, Finch Poise. Skill passive. Ling permanently increases the crit chance. Ling's crit chance will be improved after first skill levels up. Active. Ling casts his Qing Gong, or lightness skill, leaping to the designated wall, entering camouflage state, and restoring lightness points more quickly. When Ling receives damage, he will end the camouflage state. If he is controlled, he will fall onto the ground. When using this skill to jump from a wall to another, it will reset the CD and refresh the camouflage state. Ling could quickly move from wall to wall and could move to anywhere on the battlefield. He could escape from the danger quickly. Second skill, Defiant Sword. Ling charges in a designated direction and stabs the nearby enemies at his destination. If Ling casts this skill when he is on the wall, he will dash to a designated spot on the ground, dealing damage to enemies within a small area and slowing them down. If this attack deals crit damage, enemies within the area will be slowed. Defiant Sword can trigger attack effects as basic attacks, and can restore HP for Ling each time he hits an enemy. This is Ling's main damage skill, which could deal critical damage and trigger attack effect. Use it wisely, and Ling could deal massive burst damage. Ultimate skill, Tempest of Blades. Ling leaps up and casts his superb sword skill for 1.5 seconds, during which he becomes invisible and can move freely, dealing damage to enemies within the area of effect, knocking the central enemy into the air, and generating a sword field. At the edge of the sword field, there will be 4 field eyes, Tempest of Blades. By touching the field eye, Ling can reset the CD of Defiant Sword and restore lightness points. Choosing the right timing to activate this skill can dramatically help Ling to dodge massive damage. Ling can get CC if he hits enemies with the core of this skill. By touching the field eye, Ling can reset Defiant Sword and restore lightness points and deal burst damage. In team fight, Ling leaps from the side wall, approaches the damage dealers at the back, and kills them in an instant. After a while, Ling activates Tempest of Blades to evade enemies' lethal attacks, and activates the ultimate skill to dodge massive damage as he moves. Then, Ling touches the field eye to reset Defiant Sword in order to deal enormous damage. And that's our new hero Ling. Pick him up for 599 diamonds or 32,000 battle points. with a 30% diamond discount in his launch week. Don't miss out. Want to know more strategies for Ling? Stay tuned for the hero guide and road to mythic available upon his release. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the land of dawn.
Download for free Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Selena's hiding in the grass, patiently waiting for an enemy to jungle. Guzhen falls for Selena's abyssal trap, marking him with abyssal mark. Seeing this advantage, Selena quickly switches to abyssal form to finish him off. Then suddenly, Cyclops charges in to help Guzhen. Unwilling to risk being eliminated, Selena switches back to elven form and leaves the stage. However, equipped with arrows charged with effects of abyssal traps, Selena prepares for a counter-offense by switching into her elven form, and then back to her abyssal form to finally finish off Cyclops. Hi everyone, my name is Jason, and welcome to another episode of Mobile Legends Hero Spotlight. This week, the Mobile Legends team is bringing a new hero to the game, Selena, the Abyssal Witch. The young Night Elf Selena was sacrificed by her people to the Abyss in hopes of gaining dark energy. However, Selena was also blessed by the Moon God, and the two opposing energies found a balance within her. Selena can easily control the Abyss Demons to use black magic. She can also fuse with Abyss Demons to activate her Abyssal Witch form, which allows her to easily tear apart her enemies. The Abyss itself believes Selena is its voice and gave her rule over its inhabitants. Selena is a very strong hero who can gank with ease, while her varying skills give her great adaptability and damage output. Selena actually has two forms, an elven form and an abyssal form, both of which have their own unique skills. We'll first cover Selena's elven form. For her first skill, Selena summons an abyssal demon to hide at a targeted location. When an enemy unit comes close, the abyssal demon smothers its target and slows them. After some time, the abyssal demon deals magic damage and inflicts a slow effect on the enemy target, as well as surrounding enemy units. Abyssal demons can be summoned on enemies and locations where enemies commonly travel. This skill can place up to 2 abyssal marks on enemy units for added effects. Thus, it's vitally important to have a high hit rate. For Selena's second skill, she channels the power of the abyss into magic arrows, firing them in a specified direction. Enemies hit by this skill are briefly stunned. Damage and stun effects are correspondent with the distance between Selena and her target. Arrows absorb any abyssal traps that come in contact with them, dealing the trap's effects on enemy targets, plus the skill's own damage. Since the arrows travel slowly, we highly recommend everyone to try and predict enemy movements and plan ahead. For her ultimate, Selena absorbs the abyss's dark energy into her body, temporarily increasing movement speed and allowing her to take on the abyssal form. So now we'll talk about Selena's skills in her abyssal form. For her first skill, Selena uses the power of the abyss to strengthen her claws, gaining a shield after dealing damage. This is Selena's primary DPS skill, which deals a lot of bonus damage and generates a strong defense. For her second skill, Selena charges in the specified direction, dealing magic damage to enemies in her path. If this damage triggers the abyssal mark effect, this skill's cooldown immediately resets. Since Selena can be fragile at times, try to make the ability hit an enemy with the abyssal mark. Once Selena has dealt a ton of damage, then finally exit the skirmish. For her ultimate, Selena expels the abyss's dark energy from her body, temporarily increasing movement speed, and this allows her to return to her elven form. As for Selena's passive, since Selena has both the powers of the abyss and the moon god, she can freely take on 2 forms, abyssal form and elven form. While in elven form, Selena's skills will mark enemies with abyssal mark when dealing damage. After switching to abyssal form, the cooldown for her skills are reset. We highly recommend taking advantage of this effect so that Selena can use her skills frequently. Also, before entering abyssal form, remember to first mark enemies with abyssal mark in order to increase Selena's DPS. In terms of equipment builds, we recommend the following. Keep in mind, since Selena is not great at laning, she has tremendous jungle efficiency. Therefore, we have created 3 main types of equipment builds that focus on jungling and ganking. In terms of emblem sets, we highly recommend everyone to use the Mage emblem set, which boasts tremendous magic penetration. This greatly improves Selena's damage output. At the same time, due to the fact that Selena's skills are strong, Use the emblem talent Magic Warship to further increase your DPS. In terms of the talent map, we recommend unlocking Flow, Observation, and then finally Magic Warship. For battle spells, we recommend using Retribution. For Selena, who's great at jungling, Retribution is one of the best choices. And that's Mobile Legends' latest hero, Selena, coming soon for 599 diamonds or 32,000 battle points. Make sure to take advantage of the 30% launch week discount. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Download for free Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hero Spotlight, featuring Yi Sun-shin, the Painlong legend who has just been reworked.
They call me a hero because I saved my nation from falling apart.
Yi Sun-shin is an assassin-like marksman who can switch his two weapons based on his distance from the target. His burst damage nature makes him a finisher you definitely want to avoid on the battlefield. First skill, Traceless. Yi Sun-shin dashes towards the target, slashing them and dealing physical damage. When dashing, Yi Sun-shin gains both percentile damage reduction and the immunity to crowd control effect. The first skill serves as Yi Sun-shin's means to quickly approach or escape from the enemy. Note that the distance change caused by the skill allows Yi Sun-shin to switch his weapons and trigger his passive, hence boosting his damage. In addition, the damage reduction and the immunity to control effect granted by this skill have the potential to turn the tide when Yi Sun-shin's life is at stake. Special first skill, Dauntless Fleet. Yi Sun-shin commands the turtle ship to dash in the target direction, dealing physical damage to and stunning the first target hit and the enemies around them. The powerful control generated by this skill helps Yi Sun-shin immobilize his enemies so as to buy more time and space for him to dump damage. Second skill, Blood Floods. Instant cast. Yi Sun-shin slashes with his glaive, dealing physical damage to the enemies in a frontal area. Charge and cast. Yi Sun-shin shoots a piercing arrow, dealing physical damage to the enemy's hit. The damage of the arrow increases as Yi Sun-shin stores up energy, however, decreases for each target hit. While storing up energy, Yi Sun-shin's movement speed will be reduced. What's more, Blood Floods is guaranteed to trigger Yi Sun-shin's passive skill mechanic, Weapon Mastery. This skill is mighty handy for both poking and for conditions where burst damage is needed. Ultimate Mountain Shocker.
A good army should be flexible, like water.
Yi Sun-shin summons the naval fleet to launch 3 waves of rocket attacks, dealing physical damage to all enemies and slowing them down. Upgrading this skill also increases the damage of Yi Sun-shin's passive. Mountain Shocker serves as a powerful aid for Yi Sun-shin's whole team. Aside from the damage it deals, it also reveals all enemies' positions on the map. A proper utilization of this skill can be life-saving for your teammate, or simply a death knell for your enemies. Passive, Heavenly Vow. Yi Sun-shin carries out an attack with his longbow or glaive based on the distance between him and his enemy. Each time Yi Sun-shin switches weapons, Weapon Mastery, the mechanic of Heavenly Vow, guarantees Yi Sun-shin's next 2 basic attacks with critical damage while reducing the cooldown of his first skill, Traceless. Heavenly Vow is the core of Yi Sun-shin's damage-dealing ability, as it takes his damage to another level. Additionally, the cooldown reduction granted helps Yi Sun-shin better harass or even terminate his enemy with ease. Enemy Gotcha initiates the fight with his ultimate skill. Yi Sun-shin, in return, activates his ultimate skill and follows up with his first skill to dodge the control and approach the enemy carry. Yi Sun-shin gets an easy kill with his passive triggered. An enemy Farza joins the fight and activates her ultimate. Yi Sun-shin utilizes his passive to refresh his first skill, and Farza shares Carrie's fate. With very low HP left, Yi Sun-shin manages to outplay the enemy Gotcha with beautiful kiting techniques. Boom! The whole enemy team is wiped out. And that's all for this episode of Hero Spotlight. The reworked Assasin will be available on June 16th. Don't miss out! For more gameplay and tactics of Assasin, stay tuned to Hero Academy and Road to Mythic. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Download for free Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.